Kind of a quick one today. We are going to compare this Harbor Freight purple spray gun to this one and see how they are different. Most of you are probably familiar with these Harbor Freight purple spray guns. You can get them for $10 with a coupon. This one is the model 62300. I have had it for between 6 months and a year, and I've used it on several projects. To practice my automotive painting skills, I painted a cabinet. And to practice my woodworking skills, I have also used this to apply wood lacquer. This one I just bought so I can have another one around. It is model 67181. In all the shots, I will keep the 62300 on the right and the 67181 on the left. When I first pulled these out of the packages and put them side by side, I thought they were the same, but if you look closely, they are not. There are some differences, and let's go over those now. The shape overall is the same. They both say HVLP. This one says maximum 43 PSI. This one comically says 50 to 70 PSI, which are not HVLP pressures. I don't know why they put that on there. Both of them have a cast aluminum body, and the quality of the casting is a little bit better here on the older one that I have. There are just a few spots where cosmetically the casting and the machining is not as good on the newer one. But that's only cosmetic. There are also some little differences on the knobs. They are not identical. When you look at the threads for the cup, you'll see that the mount is designed a little bit differently. Let's get into the insides of these. First up is the cap on the front. Right off the bat, you can notice some differences. This one has clearly been plated, so I can't tell if this one is brass that has then been plated or is a different material, but I can tell right away that this new one is significantly heavier. It's a lot meatier. These are both 1.4 tips. It's laser etched on the old one and stamped on the new one. And when I compare the machining side by side, it might be hard to see in this, but the machine work is a little tiny bit cleaner on the new one. Because of the difference in the cap here, I decided to weigh them both, and overall, this one weighs just under 500 grams, and it is about 60 grams more than the old one. So it's not a huge difference, but it is measurable. These two guns work the same way, but as you can see, the parts are not identical. This is the rod that goes into the tip, and the new one here is just machined a little bit differently, and the shaft is a little bit thicker. On both of them, the machine work is pretty good, and the tips are just shaped a little bit differently. Get in here to the next piece and you can see the air distribution holes are more numerous on the new one. The machine work is pretty similar on them. This one has some rust on it, and if memory serves, it had that rust right out of the box, but this old one has worked really well. The springs look almost identical, no difference there. Again, the knobs are just a tiny bit different. Getting into the body here, we can see some additional differences. Plain brass on the new one, and it's pretty well machined. Again, on this one, I cannot tell if that is brass that's been machined or if it's a different material. It's not magnetic, so I know it's either something like brass or aluminum that has then been plated. You can see these are both designed really similarly. This is an interesting one in that there are not huge differences between these. The new one is a little bit uglier on the outside, but then when you get to the inside, they use a little bit more metal and the machine work is just a tiny bit nicer. However, the old one has really worked well for me, and I don't see any problems with this. So this is one of the times where I think you don't have to worry too much about which one of these you're getting at Harbor Freight. If you're a hobbyist like me, either one is probably going to be fine. So the big thing is to get whichever one you can get and just practice your painting. That's what these are so great for, is it helps you learn how to set up and use an automotive type spray gun, but you don't have to worry about damaging or messing up an expensive gun. Thanks for watching.